Hello and welcome. Now, should global tech giants such as Google and Facebook store your personal information at data centers in the US or in your home country? This is a question that's being asked repeatedly by many a government around the world. More so of late after the Facebook Cambridge Analytica data scandal and alleged Russian meddling in the 2016 US presidential election. Last year, the Indian government had set up a high-powered panel to suggest changes to the country's data protection law. The panel is holding its final meeting today. According to reports, one of the changes it has proposed in the law is that internet giants such as Google and Facebook should store data belonging to Indians within India. However, this rule is to apply only to sensitive personal information. But reports say that the panel is divided over the issue of whether companies should be forced to store data about Indians within India. Now, this is because many Indian companies process personal data of European and American nationals as well. Now, some in the Indian technology industry argue that data localization may hurt India's $135 billion software exports, curtail innovation, and hurt economic growth. The Indian government's concerns are valid. Indian economy is increasingly getting digitized. The government is pushing a Digital India initiative as it tries to meet developmental goals for the 1.3 billion Indians. But in a country which has some 900 million net users and which is one of the world's fastest growing smartphone markets, regulatory measures are at best poor. Data protection rules are still managed by the Indian Information Technology Act of 2000. So, building safeguards against data breaches is of paramount importance to the Indian government. It's also believed that law enforcement agencies, especially counter-terrorism experts, would greatly benefit if data is stored locally inside India. Now, earlier this year, it was revealed that the Facebook data breach had affected more than 500,000 Indian users. Now, this was a minuscule percentage of the more than 200 million users that Facebook has in India. Facebook has since taken corrective measures. There have also been concerns over possible election meddling by foreign agencies using the technology route. But is the answer to the problem more regulation of technology companies or allowing a free flow of data? The panel headed by former Indian Supreme Court Judge B.N. Srikrishna remains divided on this question. Its draft recommendations on the new law on data security will be submitted to the federal government by the end of this month. But if the latest reports are to be believed, it is working on a robust system of checks and balances to guard the personal data of more than 1 billion Indians from being misused. Now, when it comes to data security, India is at a nascent stage. It's yet to catch up with the risks and realities of data breaches. But some, such as the European Union, the United States, Canada and Australia, already have stringent guidelines in place. Now, for instance, the European Union has one of the most stringent data protection standards anywhere in the world. The European Union General Data Protection Regulation grants people more control over how companies use their personal data. The new data rules give online users a choice to opt out of highly targeted online ads, something that have made companies such as Facebook a money machine. Also, social networks need to regain Europeans' consent every time they want to use their data. And that's not all. Companies will have to present requests for users' consent in an easily accessible form using clear and plain language. Users now also have the right to access their data and the right to ask companies to delete them altogether anytime. Because it could be subject to fines of up to 4% of annual revenues, which could amount to millions of dollars for big companies such as Facebook and Google. Essentially, the new data rules in the European Union will make data breaches very, very expensive for companies. Now, tough European rules stand in sharp contrast to the lack of privacy regulation in the United States. The US does not have any general privacy laws. The laws in the US vary from state to state. In fact, data privacy is also regulated by some laws such as Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act for healthcare devices and the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act in case the user involved is below the age of 13. While there are recommendations and best practices for internet companies by the US Federal Trade Commission, these are merely ethics and not binding by law. Now, Canada has a principal data privacy law which is called Personal Information Protection and Electronic Documents Act. Under the existing data law in Canada, businesses have an obligation to ensure that personal information is accurate and up to date. It also provides individuals with the right to withdraw consent and requires businesses to destroy personal information that is no longer needed. Now, there are two main federal laws related to data privacy in Australia: the Privacy Act of 1988 and Telecommunications Act. As per the Privacy Act, internet companies have to comply with privacy principles when they are collecting information that could identify a user personally. They can also give users the option to remain anonymous when possible. The Telecommunications Act, however, mandates that service providers have to keep information about customers confidential. A lot of technology brand names that many of us are pronouncing totally wrong. Interestingly, some continue to mispronounce them even after their mistake is pointed out. Watch the next report to find out how many brand names you correctly pronounced.
Xiaomi.
Imgur?
Xiaomi.
Completely wrong.
Imgur.
My goodness, nobody in India would be knowing this.
Doesn't it get embarrassing when someone asks you about your phone or any other gadget and you end up mispronouncing the brand name? But don't worry, you are not alone.
Xiaomi.
Xiaomi. Xiaomi.
Xiaomi.
Xiaomi. It's XI.
Xiaomi. Xiaomi.
Xiaomi.
The correct pronunciation is Xiaomi.
Asus.
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 Asus. Asus.
Asus.
The correct pronunciation is Asus.
UV. नहीं ही.
Huawei. Huawei.
Huawei. Huawei.
Huawei.
Huawei. Huawei.
The correct pronunciation is Huawei.
Kaspersky. Kaspersky. Kaspersky.
Kaspersky. Kaspersky.
Kaspersky.
Kaspersky. No clue. Kaspersky.
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 The correct pronunciation is Kaspersky.
Hewlett Packard.
Second word I can do, Packard. Not the first one.
Hewlett Packard. Hewlett Packard.
Hewlett Packard.
Hewlett Packard.
Hewlett Packard.
The correct pronunciation is Hewlett Packard.
Baidu.
Baidu. Baidu.
Baidu. Baidu.
Baidu. Baidu.
Baidu.
The correct pronunciation is Baidu.
Adobe, yeah. Adobe.
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 The correct pronunciation is Adobe.
Imgur.
Imgur. Imgur.
Oh, imager.
Imgur. Imgur.
Imgur. Imgur.
Imgur. Imgur.
The correct pronunciation is imager.
Tell me, no, what is it? I don't know.
I will pronounce Xiaomi. I can. My life, my rules.
All right, moving on. Technology may be making your and my lives better and easier, but sadly it's killing the small joys of life. Here's a report.
A few taps on the phone and we can connect with anyone in any part of the world. Traveling between cities and countries is now faster than ever before. Robots at airports and restaurants is making our experience smoother. Just one voice command and digital assistants are ready to serve us. No wonder advancements in technology have made our lives easier, better and faster. But all of that is costing us small joys of life. It used to be a common sight until technology fully consumed us. Remember the time when evening for kids meant meeting friends, playing outdoor games, and riding bicycles? And once upon a time, nothing else would get them greater joy than scribbling with crayons and messing up with watercolors. But all of that has now been replaced by just one screen. Sad times. And little do parents realize that their kids are losing on a bunch of beautiful childhood memories. And why just kids? Technology has changed the definition of entertainment for adults as well. Remember the days of renting video cassettes and watching new movies at home with the family? Entertainment back then had a touch of togetherness. But it's the thing of the past now. The likes of Netflix and Hotstar have redefined people's watching experience. They serve ample content. There is something for everybody. And that too anytime you want. But they lack the heartwarming entertainment experience that would bring families together. Today, people are watching movies and shows of their choice on their respective screens in their respective rooms. Forget entertainment. We don't even express ourselves the same way. Remember those days of handwritten letters and cards? Days before smartphones invaded our minds and life. Perhaps you can still recall how would you take out time and think deeply before penning your thoughts on paper, pouring your heart into every letter. The entire process of sending a message, from writing to posting, used to be a joyous experience. And the mere thought of someone opening and reading your letter would just make you smile. But sadly, the art of handwritten letters is dying. Now that we all have a smartphone, we rush to messaging apps and video calls to talk to our loved ones. It may be faster and more convenient, but it often lacks the sincerity in expressions. And most importantly, technology has changed the way we seek love. Love takes time to happen with anyone. Remember the days of exchanging glances, looking for ways to strike a conversation, and pursuing the special someone?
Hi, can I join you? Yeah, sure. Thank you.
But now in the age of dating apps, it's just a matter of swiping left or right. Perhaps love has now taken a backseat as technology is enabling people to find options rather than the one and only. Well, no doubt technology is simplifying lives, but it's costing us small joys of life. Is it worth it? Ask yourself.
All right, moving on. Looks like the littering incident involving Indian actor Anushka Sharma and her cricketer husband Virat Kohli will not die down anytime soon. After being trolled for publicly shaming a man for littering on the street, Virat had come out in support of Anushka since the time Virat uploaded the video of his wife Anushka schooling a man on the street. Many have been trolling the couple for gaining cheap publicity. Now, a debate is raging whether Anushka's act was meant to spread awareness or was it just a publicity stunt. First, let's bring you up to speed with what exactly happened. Here's the video.
Why are you throwing garbage on the road? Why are you throwing garbage on the road? Yes, why are you throwing plastic on the road? Please be careful. You can't just throw plastic around like that on the streets. Use a dustbin.
Right. Federal Minister of State for Home Affairs Kiren Rijiju has backed the couple. Rijiju took to Twitter to post this message, and I quote, "Come on, Virat and Anushka need publicity. They would rather crave for privacy. Our conduct reflects our mentality. Civic sense is social ethics, and ethical behavior does not come with wealth and education. Let's keep India clean. Hashtag Swachh Bharat," unquote. All right. Now it's over to my colleague Molly Gambhir, who takes us through some of the social media reactions on the matter. Molly, before we come to the social media reactions, I want to ask you a very pointed question. Where do you stand on this debate as far as Virushka is concerned?
Why don't we let some of the social media reactions answer that for you? And as we mentioned right at the outset, of course, a mixed bag of reactions coming in, while some have lauded the intention behind this video that was uploaded by Indian cricketer Virat Kohli, during which his wife Anushka Sharma is seen schooling that man who is littering the road. Many have also questioned whether or not the actor could have been a lot more polite while interacting with that man in question. Of course, sharp reactions have been coming in on social media as well. Let's take our viewers through some of those. Barry Singh has said, for those questioning Virat Kohli and Anushka Sharma's intentions behind posting the video of the guy littering, let's remember celebrities always get questioned for not raising their voice for social causes. For the ones who do, let's support them, not troll them. The next tweet that we have for our viewers is from R.S. Prasad. He keeps it extremely concise. Really appreciate the commitment of Anushka Sharma for Swachh Bharat. Keep it up. Remember, cleanliness was the entire motive of that video that was uploaded by Virat Kohli. I don't understand why people are trolling Anushka Sharma. As responsible citizens, we must call out people littering the roads. She did nothing wrong. So the sentiment behind that tweet is that a lot of people should do this more often, and it is a trend that Anushka Sharma has started. I can see many people calling Anushka Sharma and Virat Kohli's video a publicity stunt. Just for your information, our Indian captain plays cricket really well. While Anushka is one of the finest actresses we have, they do not need to do these things for publicity. Ends with the hashtag change mindset. But there is the other side of the spectrum as well. So that's why she did it. This is extremely sad that a man was shamed like this. Even Anushka wasn't wearing a seatbelt. Even Kohli was using a phone for recording while his hands were on the steering. Stop justifying this. That's what Roshan Kumar Rai has said on Twitter. Here's a theory that's been put forward by a user called Amirpo. Here's my theory. While being corrected, the guy and Anushka were unaware about the filming, so he took it properly, while Virat possibly wanted to score some brownie points with his newlywed wife and uploaded it. Anushka would have realized the repercussions and reprimanded him. So a lot of speculation, a lot of conspiracy theories as well that have been doing the rounds ever since that video went viral. And a last tweet that we have for you is from Rashmi Nair, replying to two other users. No, the issue is that this was a publicity stunt to score pats on their backs. Many people do this on an everyday basis, and many do it despite running the risk of getting told off because they do not have the same privilege. They don't feel the need to publicize their good deeds. So, like we mentioned right at the beginning, there are extreme reactions that have been doing the rounds on social media. But let's just put it this way, the debate is very much raging both online as well as offline, and reactions are sure to keep trickling in. Back to you, Ramesh.
On that note, thank you, Molly. Thank you for your input.